back. Tankers Fantasy Football here. We're here to give it to you. We're going to hit you off with running backs. We're going to give you some sleeper backs. We're talking 10 rounds and beyond.
Yeah, last running back video up there, the overvalued, undervalued running backs got to 21 likes. I think our high watermark ever is like 27 likes. Let's see if the Tankers Army, come on, let's get it up to 30 likes on this video. And oh baby, me and Hampton and Travis will greatly appreciate it out there.
All right, let's kick it off here. We're going to talk some backs. We're looking at average draft positions. We get all these off a fantasy football calculator. We're going to talk about rounds 10 and 11. One of my favorite guys going in the 10th round here. He's currently the 7th pick in the 10th round. We're talking Austin Ekeler. Now, last year, he missed a couple games late in the season, but he still managed to be the 25th PPR running back.
In full PPR.
Full point PPR. He's currently getting drafted as the 45th running back off the board.
Yeah, him and James White out there getting no respect.
James White's like the 33rd.
In full point PPR. Getting no respect. I know their ceilings aren't necessarily the highest thing ever, because even when Melvin Gordon did go down, we didn't really see a lot of Austin Ekeler necessarily, because Justin Jackson was kind of that first and second down back for the Chargers in Melvin Gordon's stead. But I mean, I think you look at the guy like Austin Ekeler, and you got to think his floor is there.
I mean, even if you're drafting him in the 10th round, I think he is an RB3. He's on that radar. I mean, we're talking last year's 25th, so we're talking one away from being in the RB2 conversation.
Yeah, but, a lot of these late-round picks, you kind of like to shoot for the stars. You don't really like those safe floor guys. You want to go for them sexy boy ceiling action, so this guy can get into your flex spot, because you're not drafting him to be a starter right now. You're drafting him to be a bench player and a bye-week filler. And Austin Ekeler is that type of guy that's a great bye-week filler, but some of these other guys, you just think you can shoot for the stars on them. Like, I don't really necessarily like a guy like Ronald Jones, but you gotta think.
I mean, you gotta hate him, but still.
Peyton Barber was so bad. He was like top 5 in the NFL in like touch percentage for running backs on his own team, and he was still like nothing. He was still just like absolute mediocre bum trash. And I mean, Ronald Jones looked worse.
We're talking Ito Smith and Ron Jones getting drafted basically the same time. We're talking late 10. Ito Smith, I feel like he has to have an injury to really have an impact on this offense. They're talking about they drafted a running back as well as Freeman is still there. When a guy like Ron Jones, who was absolutely pitiful last year, healthy scratch to start the year, even drafted high, this is a guy who's probably going to start week 1.
I might be out of my mind, but I'd rather have Ronald Jones and Ito Smith. They're both going the 9th pick in the 10th round on average. Ito Smith, to me, I mean, I know Ronald Jones looked like absolute pill-fuke garbage last year as well, but Ito Smith to me just looked like a jag. He just looked just like another guy out there.
I feel like Ito Smith, we saw what he was, and Ronald Jones,
he's that Christmas present still kind of wrapped up a little bit with Ronald Jones.
I know
he tore it away a little bit.
I know this is completely different, but I mean, people forget about how bad Melvin Gordon's rookie year was, and I know he was a first-round pick in the NFL draft, but Melvin Gordon had 0 touchdowns his rookie year. I mean, the next year he was getting drafted in like that 5th, 6th round conversation. But this is a guy, Ronald Jones, in early mocks, he was going 5th, 6th round last year, and here he is in the 11th round.
Yeah, because you got to think somebody out of that backfield is going to get it sexy out of Bruce Arians' scheme. Has to. Bruce Arians is going to get something out of one of those running backs. And I'm just, I hated Ronald Jones last year, but he's going, 9th pick of the 10th round this year. No risk whatsoever. I think out of all these guys we're talking about, the guys that are going in the 10th, 11th round, looking at Jalen Samuels, Ekeler.
I do like Jalen Samuels. So they're talking about the first time in the Tomlin area that they're running 2 running back sets for 2 running back formations out on the field. I really like him in full point PPR. I think he's going to outplay his draft position, which is currently getting drafted as the 43rd running back.
Yeah, first pick of the 10th round on average right now. We got, in the 10th, 11th round, we got Jalen Samuels, Austin Ekeler, Ito Smith, Ronald Jones, Dante Foreman, and Matt Breida. And I think out of all those guys, I mean, he is going the first out of all of them, but I'm going the consensus here, which is weird, but I think Jalen Samuels is the guy I would pick out of those 6 guys.
Yeah, I agree, and then I'd probably go Eckler right behind. Just Eckler's floor is just so nice. Yeah, he's never really going to be...
I'm talking myself into Ronald Jones. I might put Ronald Jones in that second spot behind Samuels. I mean, we might be talking about...
That's your pick.
Wait, baby. All right. I think I'm talking Samuels, Ronald Jones, Eckler. I'm down with some Matt Breida as well. That's another home run style hit. Because I'm a McKinnon and Coleman hate. I think Coleman, I don't have any faith in Coleman whatsoever. I won't draft Coleman in any league.
And Coleman's a coach's guy. I mean, he wasn't seen in when he was in Atlanta. He brought him over here. But I thought when Matt Breida was healthy last year, he was an absolute must-start RB2 for you. And I really think he might be the best running back out of the bunch at San Francisco. And I guess, I mean, for the price, he's looking at the last pick in the 11th round. We're talking basically the 12th round, maybe even sliding back to the 13th in some of these drafts.
Yeah, because you get down there, you know, it fluctuates 2 to 3 rounds, given on who you're drafting with out there.
One more guy in that range there, I think Dante Foreman really could push up on a starting job with Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller did surprise me last year with how well he did play, but I think Foreman can really take the job over come playoff time for you in the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, and you're looking at these guys that are going in the 12th and 13th round for these running back sleepers out there, talking about some Devin Singletary and Kalen Ballage. I think if I'm going to take Dante Foreman or Matt Breida or Ito Smith, I think I'm waiting a round or two, and I'm more down with giving me some Devin Singletary and Kalen Ballage.
We're talking Devin Singletary, rookie for the Bills. It's a run-first offense. I mean, McCoy's kind of on his last leg at this point.
Was garbage
and then you
year.
Brought in T.J. Yeldon, who I really don't think is anything special. I think he's good at a lot of things, but he's not great at anything.
I think the sun has set on McCoy. It was the first time in his career he was under 4 yards a carry last year. He didn't even have a passing game report with Josh Allen whatsoever. His receiving work was not getting it sexy for you. He's never really been that big of a touchdown guy. And his he would have had like 2 touchdowns last year, and they both came in the same game,
exactly.
I think. It was absolutely disgusting. I know Frank Gore, and never say die, Frank Gore, live forever. The inconvenient truth.
Frank Gore was pitiful last year, though.
I mean, God.
1 touchdown, and his yards per carry was not good.
You think about the Bills, and you think about losing, right? So you think about you're going out there. And you say in the Bills, you know, maybe they start off 2-5, 2-6, and what are they doing running these? What are they running these old ponies into the ground?
McCoy was on the trading block last year. There's some heat up, maybe going back to the Eagles. It didn't happen this year. We could be talking 1-4 Bills.
What do you think, Bear? Devin Singletary in the 12 to 15 touch role by week 9? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, Bear. I am feeling it. I mean, you know, 2-6 Bills have no business running the likes of Frank Gore and LaShawn McCoy. They might as well see what they got in their boy. McCoy, this is his contract year, right? He's done. He's out of there. Yeah, he's out of there. All right.
Another guy, like I said, we touched on, Kalen Ballage. Last year, just could not find work ahead of Frank Gore, who was absolutely trash last year. Kalen Ballage, we're talking the very late 13th, early 14th round here. This is a guy in college who they thought would be a better pro than he was a better college player. And at this point, we're talking a very, very bad Dolphins team again here. And why not at least see if we can get the talent on the field? I know Kenyon Drake is out there, but...
Kenyon Drake, I feel the same personally about owning Kenyon Drake and Kalen Ballage, and just one happens to be going 8 rounds later than the other.
When we're talking Drake is in like that 5th, 6th round here,
early
and we're
5th.
talking Ballage 13th, 14th. You can handcuff this, and really that's the only 2 guys there. So one of those 2 guys you would think can get some fantasy value.
People are like, you know, they're going to hand the reins to Kenyon Drake, you know. They talk about Adam Gase. He's out of town. He was the one holding him back, but Kenyon Drake has only had 250 combined carries the last 2 seasons. So it's not like he's that explosive guy. He does those swing passes and those I'm wheel routes, I'm freaking out down the sideline business. He loves that, and he is capable of the big play, but so is Kalen Balazs.
Last second touchdown against New England.
Oh,
Suffocating their hearts.
And Gronk just shit all over and fucking just looked like me out there trying to tackle a guy.
All right, let's talk 14th round and beyond. And I'm skipping down to seriously one of my favorite deep sleepers in the entire draft here. Currently getting drafted as the 60th running back, Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines, he was like the 27th ranked running back last year as a rookie. Had 63 catches, almost 800 total yards, and is getting drafted as the 60th running back. That's insane.
I know his ceiling is capped, as long as Marlon Mack and the like are out there and healthy. But if they're in a passing down situation, he is clearly
he's the pass catching back in this off. Even with Mack, Marlon Mack, I don't see catching 50 to 60 balls.
Yeah, because you look at all these other guys going in the 14 and beyond, a lot like Jamal Williams. You don't know what his role. He's not really guaranteed anything. C.J. Anderson, he's going to play some series behind Kerryon Johnson, but he's still a backup. He's still not gonna. He still has a defined role, but don't really look for anything that sexy. Gus Edwards.
You're saying he's cut to like 6% body fat, but he's trying to get a role even with Mark Ingram coming to town.
I guess. I would rather take Gus Edwards than C.J. Anderson or Jamal Williams.
That's true.
I would much rather.
For me personally, I feel like C.J. Anderson, a lot of it was due to being fresh. We're coming late in the season. These defensive lines have been tired, have been mauled down throughout the year.
Offensive line is good.
Really good offensive line, and we're talking completely fresh legs.
Yeah, I'd rather take, Raquel Armstead or whatever down in Jacksonville.
We're talking about this guy.
You're just dart throwing at rookie running backs at this point. I'd much rather dart throw at a rookie running back than draft a bum like Jamal Williams. He is pedestrian deluxe.
All reports say that Leonard Fournette is looking really good in preseason here, but we're talking about Armstead. We can get a handcuff because if you draft Fournette, you're getting the handcuff. That's a given. You're going to spend a late second, early third on Fournette. You're going to get Armstead here in the 14th, 15th round. And he's a very physical style runner, and even with Foles, this is going to be a run-first team, and it's a cheap handcuff.
Yeah, T.J. Yeldon's out of town.
Yeah,
Corey Grant looked like absolutely nothing last year.
Well, Corey Grant had a terrible injury, and he might not even play again.
Oh, well.
He's technically not even signed at this point.
Oh, well, goodness. Then, yeah, this guy is a great handcuff. If you're, this is full on. This is the time when you want to be handcuffed.
They've got Thomas Rawls on roster.
People are taking their kickers and their D's, and you're getting a sexy deluxe handcuff out there instead.
Yeah, I really like that handcuff. Fournette has a high ceiling, like super high ceiling. And let's see, currently getting drafted, his draft stock has been improving drastically with these positive reports in camp. Right now, he's the 11th pick in the second round, 14th running back off the board. We saw a couple weeks ago he was late third. And I said get about the late third because I like the ceiling on it. But the Armstead's still down in that 14th range, and you can get both these guys relatively cheap. Leonard Fournette, super, super high ceiling.
Leonard Fournette. I am a Leonard Fournette hater, but if you're going to get a guy like Leonard Fournette, I feel like if the handcuff is as cheap as Armstead, you absolutely have to. That's basically free. 14th round and beyond, that's waiver wire prices.
There it is. Thank you very much for watching.
If you like the cut of our jib, give us a subscribe, share. Please mash the piss out of that like button. We do appreciate it. And if you're wondering what happened to the white C that used to be in front of this on our last videos, well, my 2-year-old son likes to get a little handsy, and he got a hold of it, and I'm not sure where it went.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll hit you very soon with some sleeping wide receivers for you.
Later.
Later.
Cheeseburger.